Spencer Strider, or also known as the Mustache Man, which is what he was called during his college days at Clemson, has been fantastic for the Atlanta Braves this season. Strider is a rookie, throws incredibly hard at 100 miles an hour, has a nasty slurve-like pitch, and has overall been devastating on the mound. As for his team, they've been real good as well. After not playing to their full potential in April and May, the Braves started to turn things around starting in June. The Braves went 21-6 in June and 18-8 in July, and in that span, they have made up a lot of ground to the New York Mets. The Mets, on the other hand, are a team that has been on the run all season long and have been in first place for the vast majority, if not the entire year. Despite injuries with their two Hall of Fame pitchers, they've been incredible pitching-wise and have really clicked overall as a team, doing mostly everything right. In their hot June stretch, the Braves did not play the Mets and only played them one time in July for a 3-game series, one which they'd lose 2 out of 3. Add all of this together, and the Braves were just 3.5 games back of the first place Mets heading into a 5-game series in Queens. It was originally a 4-game series, but one which would also feature a doubleheader on Saturday. That's a whole lot of games in one series, and also a big opportunity for the Braves to at least inch a little closer to the Mets, if not overtake them. That didn't go so well. The Mets jumped out to a 5-0 lead in the first game, and despite making it interesting by the end, the Mets shut it down with Edwin Diaz getting the 6-out save. Friday was much better for Atlanta. On Friday night, the Braves' offense exploded for 8 runs, scoring 4 in the first and 4 in the second, and although they did have a 4-run inning of their own in the bottom of the 5th, the Mets failed to come back as the Braves won 9-6. So the Braves were back in business with 3 games to go and a chance to use the momentum from Friday. But unfortunately for them, that did not happen. The Mets were up 8-2 at one point on Saturday afternoon, taking down newly acquired Jake Odorizzi, going on to hold off the Braves' attempted comeback and win the game 8-5. As for the nightcap, it was worse for Atlanta. The Mets mustered 4 runs off of Max Fried, taking a 6-1 lead into the 9th, a lead in which they'd hold on to and win the game 6-2. The Braves were now in a position where you kind of feel like you have to win this last game. Even though the series will still be lost, you have to win and gain momentum, ending the series on a high note. Unfortunately, they'd have to go through Jacob deGrom, but at the same time, they'd have another good starter on the mound themselves, none other than Spencer Strider. Jacob deGrom was incredible, throwing 5 2/3 perfect innings with 12 strikeouts before walking a hitter and giving up a 2-run homer to Dansby Swanson. It didn't end well, but it was still a great start for deGrom in just his second of the season back from injury. It was a big 2-run homer off of deGrom for the Braves, but unfortunately they were down 5-2. Spencer Strider was not very sharp on Sunday afternoon. He gave up 4 earned runs on 6 hits, 2 of which were 2-run doubles, walked 2, and could not make it out of the 3rd inning, having to be pulled. The Dansby Swanson home run was the most the Braves offense did, and by the 9th inning, Edwin Diaz was out there striking Swanson and Matt Olson out on nasty sliders and painting the low outside corner with a 101-mile-an-hour fastball on Austin Riley for strike 3. Ending the game and giving the Mets the 5-2 win and a 4-1 series win. That puts the Braves to 6.5 games back of the Mets now. And after the game, despite pitching poorly and getting the loss, Spencer Strider threw some shade over at the Mets. When asked about the game, Strider took a pretty defensive stance and had this to say about the Mets offense and the runs that they got off of him.
A lot of weird hits. They seem to be having a lot of luck right now offensively, so that's great. It's August. See what things are like in October.
Interesting to say the least. He also went on to say that it does help when they're getting calls and 1-1 counts turn to 2-1 counts instead of 1-2 counts. When your batting average on balls in play is 330, 340 as a team, it's tough to get quick innings and get quick outs. What Strider is straight up saying, not even just implying, is that the Mets hitters are getting lucky. At the end of the day, we know that one thing he said is 100% true, and that is the fact that we'll see what things are like in October. The Braves and Mets are both expected to make it to the dance, and a series between the two would be must-see TV, no doubt. But until then, the Braves will still try and win that division, even though they went back 3 games in the standings. In 1 week from today, the Braves are taking on the Mets, this time at home, for a 4-game series, and have 7 games left with them overall on the year. Let me know what you think about Strider's comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.